You're isolated because you can see through the BS. That's why you isolated. Don't take isolation. Don't look at it as, oh my God, I'm alone. I'm by myself. Look at isolation as a blessing. The fact that you are alone. The fact that you took the time to be by yourself, to heal, to go through your spiritual journey, to know more about you. You're being alone. A lot of people in this world do not know how to be alone. They can't. You got a lot of energy vampires out here. You got a lot of people who do not know how to heal, haven't had the time to be on their own, but because they haven't, they just decide to just go to the next friendship, jump to the next one, and just feed off these people's energy. Meaning that they can go out, meet somebody for the first time, and know automatically, oh, that's my bro, my sis, you vibe. You just met this person not that long ago. And that's your bro and sis. People live that way. And then they do things with people and they feed off their energy. But you took that time to be alone. I'm talking about alone. It doesn't even matter who you meet, who you bump into. You still fall back because it's like, you know how precious your energy is. You know how long it took for your healing journey, your spiritual journey. You're still going through it. You're not perfect, but you're still going through this journey. But you're finding out that it's beautiful to be alone. You don't have too many people in your circle, in your space, trying to, you're not around too much. You know you. You're learning you. You're enjoying your company. A lot of people can't do that. They can't enjoy their own company. They don't even know how to. They can't. I need you to know when you're isolated and when you go through isolation, don't look at isolation as a, like, oh, is it a punishment or is it, I'm alone out here. Everybody looking at me a certain way, like I'm by myself. Yo, isolation is a blessing. Because there's too many people out here in this world that it's so fake. I'm talking about it's all fake. You know why you're isolated? Do you know why you're isolated? You watching this video, that you went through what you went through. The reason why you are isolated, the reason why you're going through what you're going through, it's because people are afraid to be around you. Yeah. They are afraid to be around you. They don't want to be around you. Do you know why? This is why you're isolated. This is why you're really alone and isolated. Because your discernment is so on point that even though you're not perfect, but you still repent, you have a connection with the Most High, but your discernment is so on point. You can see through the illusion. That's why you're isolated. It ain't you. It's not you. It's just that people just know, based off what you've been posting, what you've been talking about. Oh, them niggas know. They just know when they look at you and when they're going to be around your company, they just can't do what they do to everybody else. Because you're very, very in tune. Whether you're perfect or not, you're very in tune spiritually. This is why you're isolated. Because you see through people from a mile away. Whether you know them or you don't know them. That's why you're isolated. Because you see through the illusion of this matrix. You see through the programming. Not only through the programming, you question. Not only do you question, but your discernment with the people who walk past you, who be by you, familiar faces, this and that, you see through them all. And I ain't talking about the flesh. You see through their spirit. This is why you are isolated, because and this is why people avoid you, because you see through people. That's why you alone. That's why you isolated. Come on, man. Look at the person who think that they the vibe to have a whole bunch of people in their circle. The people who got so many people in their circle, yo, I got so much friends, I'm living the good life. No, nigga. You don't even know who the hell is in your circle. These niggas is snaking behind your back, or you got people in your circle like plotting, planning, or just draining off your energy, or being around you to steal your energy because they know about your light. Just to be around you, just to feed off that, because they know who you are. But because you see through all that BS, that's why you isolated. Because it's like when you go outside, even when you're around niggas, strangers, familiar faces, people who walk by you, beside you, past you, wherever you go, you don't gotta be perfect, because I'm not. But you see through people's flesh, you see through their spirit. That's why people avoid you, because it's like, damn, this nigga, he or she, read me from a mile away. They know what I'm about. They know my intentions, because they all do this. I told you, the tactics never change. Once you learn that the tactics never change, because they all do the same thing, and it's never going to change. But when you see that, you already know that that spirit that's within these people. The spirit, you heard the word I said? Spirit, not the flesh. The spirit that's in them, that controls them. They see that you know. Don't matter if they walk beside you, try to look a certain way, or how they moving. Them niggas know that you know and that you see them. You can play dumb, but you see. That's why they don't like you. That's why you get isolated. That's why you look alone. So take the isolation and you being alone as a blessing. Because being alone is a power that not many people can do. Being alone. Loving your company. Loving your space. Loving you. Yourself. People can't do that. They can't. Somebody could be in a room for not that long and be like, yo, I gotta link up with somebody, or I gotta hit somebody up, or yo, we gotta link up and all that. Them niggas start texting and hitting up anybody. You can fall back. You enjoying your company. You know you enjoying your space. You enjoy what you doing. Not many people can do that. That's why you isolated. That's why you alone. Because you read through people. You see through the illusion. That's why you alone. Take it as a blessing. Because you see through people's flesh. That's why you alone. And I'm going to tell it to you like this. When it comes to narcissists, one thing about a narcissist is that when a narcissist knows that you have them figured out, oh yeah, when you know who the narcissists are in your groups, or the people who you don't talk to no more, what a narcissist does is they start to begin to recruit people to go against you. So they can look like the victor, or look like the good guy or the good girl in their story, but that narcissist knows that you know about them, that you can see through them. This is what narcissists do. They gotta recruit people. You heard that on cue? Narcissists have to recruit people. So look at all the people who slandered you. I need you to pay attention to this. When you went through your spiritual awakening, this is why you isolated. The narcissist knows that you know about them. Their dark secrets. They know that you know personally what they're about. So they gotta do everything in their power to form people to make you look like the bad guy, but you know about them. And it don't matter who they have to recruit. It could be people from their circle, people from your circle, your family. It don't matter. But a narcissist needs to have people on their side. But they're terrified because they know that you know who they are. And this is why people avoid you. Because when your spiritual discernment is so on point, I'm talking about on point. You don't gotta be perfect, but you can still read niggas and see through their spirit. To the fact that as you're walking, doing what you're doing, minding your business, there could be a stranger crossing your path or being beside you. And you already read that person, felt it, saw that spirit in them, that they're communicating with the other spirits. I told you, because the tactics never change. You heard the honk? So how to know when there's a bad spirit in somebody? They're going to do this as they're walking past you. They're going to do this. They're going to do this. They're going to touch both ears. Remember this? Or they're going you're going to see a lot of people do this all of a sudden when you wake up. And a lot of people all of a sudden got their hands in their pockets. This one hand free, but a lot of people got hands in the hidden hand. You're going to see a lot of stuff when you wake up, but you're going to see a lot of hands in a lot of hidden hands. That's because you see. That's why you got to be isolated, because you see through the illusion. And that's why they got to have people avoid you, or some people are afraid to go to you or be around you because they know off the rip, damn, I can't really try to jump into this person's life, because no matter how I try to jump into this person's life, they're going to see through me automatically. And even if they don't see me through that first impression, somewhere down the line, they're still going to see through me. That's why you're isolated, because you see through people. You see through the BS. It don't matter if you catch it right away. And a lot of y'all catch it right away. You don't even know it, but you see the tactics, what they do, the color. That's why they avoid you. But those, even if they try to come into your life because you allowed it, but you just fall back, but you still see who's who. You see? But that's why they don't do too much around you, because it's like, how do we try to... Because this nigga knows, he sees. He or she, they know, they see. That's why you avoid it. That's why you isolate it. Because you see. You see... Y'all know what's up. You see the tactics. You see the body language. You see how they talk when the spirit is in them. Because they all do the same thing. I told y'all. The tactics never change. All of y'all who've been following me, everything that you see that I have been telling you how they move out here, you're going to see it from people that you know and don't know. Because the tactics never change. It never. And it's never going to. That's the thing about it. And it never changes. Maybe the person might change, a different person. But regardless, that spirit's in them, they're going to still code. The coding and how they speak and communicate will never change. It's never going to change. I don't care if they bring a different person around you. But how they speak body language-wise, spiritually, it never changes. The tactics never change. This is why you isolate it. And this is why the narcissist fears you, because you see, you saw through them, you see through them, so they have to play that defense and say, yo, I got to get everybody to go against this person right here. That's what happens. When you unplug and the Most High removes the veil from your eyes, all the witches and all the warlocks got exposed around you. From your family, from your friends, from your co-workers, from your friend group, people who you grew up around. When you unplugged, everything got exposed. You heard the word? Exposed. I'm talking about mommy, daddy, all people from their side of the family. They all got exposed. Every witch and warlock in your family. Oh, y'all niggas don't know that? Y'all niggas got witches and warlocks in your family? Oh, you think that you don't got secret people in your family that's in secret cults? Or they do things on the low-low? From your family? Starting with your own bloodline? Oh, you think not? Yeah, guess again. This is why you go through all the BS that you go through. Because you see through all of them. And they see and noticed that you see through them. Because they know something happening in the spirit. But it ain't you, it's the Most High who's in charge, who allowed you to see, who's also in charge of your story, regardless of how it's turning out. So niggas get exposed around you from those who you know and don't know. This is why you're isolated. But enjoy it. Enjoy the isolation, enjoy the alone time. Because I promise you, being alone is a power and a beautiful thing that many people cannot do. Take it from me. I could go to the movies by my damn self. I could go to a restaurant by my damn self. I could order food. I can do things by myself. I don't need nobody. There's people who can't do that. They gotta go to the movies with somebody, whether they like or don't like. See what I'm saying? How strong that power is when you by yourself. You heard that honk in between? Being alone is a power that people cannot do. But when you can, it's a wrap. And the reason why you isolated, you have to hear what I say again. You're isolated because people fear you. They fear the fact that you can see through them. They got exposed around you. And we're not talking about physically. We're talking about spiritually. Those niggas got exposed. Yeah. The witches and warlocks in your family, in your bloodline, from both mommy and daddy, grandma, grandpa, great-grandma, great-grandpa, all those niggas got exposed around you. The people who you dated and did things with, the narcissists in your life, oh, they got exposed around you. That's why they got to make you look like the bad guy. Because of what you talk and what you post. You have to look like the bad guy or bad girl in their story. But they fear you because they see and know that you can see through them. Oh, even the religious people too, they know that you can see through them too. That's why they avoid you. That's why that's why you're isolated. That's why they got to make the smear campaign about you. The character assassination. That's why they got to make you look any kind of way. But they got to form groups. They got to form that group. And the ones who are forming the groups is the one that know that. They're all in the wrong. But they know that you can see through them. Did you catch that? The ones who are smear campaigning. Especially the one who started it. Okay? Because it don't matter how it started. And the people who follow. But it's that first person who started it. To have everybody follow where it's at now. It only takes one. But that one person who started it all is the one that fears you. Because you see and saw through them. But they gotta create that, what they're doing quick to cover who they are. But you see through them. That's why you gotta look like the bad guy to these people. Oh yeah. That's why you isolated, because they fear you. And this is why people avoid you. Strangers too. Did you hear the honk in between? Because I heard it. I know y'all did too. Even if you rewatch it, you're going to hear that in between. Even strangers that come your way, they avoid you too. Because it don't matter what you're doing. You could go out to just catch some air. You could go grocery shopping. You could do what you're doing, minding your business. It don't matter. The reason why people avoid you is because it's like, nigga, stranger or familiar, you see through people. You see how they move. You already catch it. You know who the witches and warlocks are. They don't gotta be dressed fancy. Niggas can be dressed so. That's why they avoid you, because it's like, damn, nigga, your discernment is so on point that you see the snakes. From strangers and friends. You see them. You saw them. They all got exposed around you. You're the truth teller. What they call it, the black sheep. You're the truth teller. They don't like that. And all the people who start to dislike you, I heard that horn in between. All the people who start to dislike you from known and unknown, based off your posts and what you talk about, is because of what you talk about, what you share and all that, is a mirror to them. Everything you talk about is a mirror of what they're doing. You just continuing your content, doing what you're doing, speaking from the spirit, your downloads and what you're doing. But those, how they really truly feel about you, that know you and don't know you, they're going to be sitting there gnashing because it's like, damn, that nigga knows or she knows spiritually. They look at your content. Those who don't like. Gnashing. Because what you're speaking about, it mirrors them. They know what they're doing, so when they hear that you're speaking that way, they're like, damn, it reflects them. It's a mirror. People don't like to be mirrored when they know that they're doing wrong and snake things to people. They don't like it. It's a mirror. That's why people dislike you. That's why they get bothered by you. Because you are a mirror to people. You read off everything, off the discernment. The color, how they moving out here. Those who do what they're doing, and when they see somebody who's calling it out, it bothers people because it's like, damn, I don't know you, or I do know you, but I didn't know that you knew, or they're looking at your video and go, damn, you're a reflection of the people who's doing what they're doing. It bothers people when you're calling out the wrong, and those who are living in the wrong or whatever they're doing in the wrong, it's going to bother those people who's doing that. That's why you get the criticism. Y'all need to pay attention. When people start criticizing, try to start forming groups to come after you, it's because you're calling out what they're doing. And you don't even got to know these niggas. It's the downloads, and you're just presenting it for your content and based off experiences too with people you know. You're just continuing. But those from you know and don't know all over the world, those who's living that way in the dark and the wrong, because the tactics never change, but they come across you, they're like, damn. That's why you isolated, bro. King, queen, you isolated. Because they know that you can see them. You can read them. You don't gotta know these niggas, and you do know them. From some you know and some you don't know. That's why they avoid you. That's why they get away from you. That's why they try to form groups. That's why they try to get so many people to be like, nah, don't mess with him or her. I heard this, and that. They try to get so many people to pull away from you, but they are afraid. Your discernment is so on point. I'm talking about that you walk in minding your business, but every single person that comes across your path, this is why they don't like you. And then they do like you, but then they don't like you. It's a mix, but they fear. I need you to pay attention. If you wasn't that powerful, there would not be a group of people trying to do what they do or have tried to do to you. If you ain't powerful, they gotta form a group. Because I promise you, that specific person who started it all from the very beginning to lead into where it's at now with this smear campaign, or that one person who started it is a coward and will never confront you. Will never. That's why they got to form that group. That's why they had to do what they did on the Lolo. But that coward will never. So think about it. You're going through what you're going through, but you see these groups from known and unknown. You got to know how powerful you are, king and queen. If you got a group of people watching, gang stalking, keeping tabs, you got to know how powerful you are. But the coward who started it all, that's the narcissist. That's the one that knows that you know who the hell they are. That's what narcissists do. Narcissists got to start the smear campaign, the lies. Because they're not original. Narcissists are never original. They feed off of people's energy. They drain people's energy. That's what narcissists do. They jump from one person to the next. Narcissists. So yes, that's why you get avoided. Not only avoided, that's why all the problems come your way. That's why you went through what you went through. Because everybody got exposed around you. You need to listen to me. When you unplug from the matrix, when the Most High removes the veil from your eyes, remember the movie They Live, the black shades, spiritual shades? When that happens to you, and when you go through what you go through, listen to me. You hear the engine? Listen to me. When you go through your spiritual awakening, everything is going to be revealed to you. Why that's on cue when I say that? It could be any kind of time of day with this. Why that's on cue? The beeping. See? Your spiritual awakening. When you go through your spiritual awakening. Remember Tiffany Gomez? They call her the crazy plane lady. And you started to see all these plane stories about people acting out. Spiritual awakening. Niggas go through a spiritual awakening. They start to see the truth. Why? Because they, themselves, the Most High picked them and removed the veil from their eyes. Them too, just like you. Those black shades in the movie They Live. Y'all see. And what happens? Is it scary? Oh, absolutely. For somebody who don't know what the hell is going on, it's going to. Especially when you start seeing it from people who you knew for all your life, all these years that you was around these people, and they start moving funny around you. Especially the religious ones in your family. When they start moving weird and funny around you and you start seeing their face. These people you saw all your life. And we're talking about spiritual awakening. See, spiritual awakening is when you are coming into your truth. That's why you go through what you go through. That's why you go through what you go through. That's why everybody who heard of you or known you for so many years, and then when they start to hear this BS story about you, oh my God, he or she got put into cuffs. He or she got put into a hospital. Oh my God, I would have never expected this from this person for so many years. No, nigga. That's not what happened. You heard the word spiritual because the spiritual is in the truth. What happened was when you, because it happens anytime, any place, anywhere, you don't know. But when that happens, and the Most High does this, and you have these glasses on, why that's on cue, the siren? You're listening to the noise? But when you got those glasses on, everybody that you know and don't know, they get revealed around you. And when you begin to see through them spiritually, their spirits who've been in the dark sees that you see them. That's why they got to do what they do. That's why everything starts happening in your life. That's why you went through what you went through in your life. You heard that on cue? See? Everything that happened to you in your life is during your spiritual awakening. All the snakes and everybody who had bad spirits and these niggas got exposed around you. And that's why all those who got involved, toxic and all that, they got to form that group to make you look a certain way. Don't let nobody gaslight you. They say, oh my God, he or she, they started to go through what they went through. I would have never expected he or she to go through what they went through. Or they try to call it a mental, this and that. Don't get gaslighted. No, you went through your spiritual awakening. And what happened was the witches, the warlocks, the toxic people, the narcissist people, those who hide from people, their spirits, even religious people in your family, they got exposed around you. That's what happened. That's what happened. All those niggas got exposed around you because you saw through them. That's why you went through what you went through. A lot of y'all niggas got put in cuffs. A lot of y'all niggas got put in hospitals. Yeah. That's because you went through your spiritual awakening. The truth. You put those glasses on. The universe, God, the Most High. You put the glasses on. Those niggas got revealed around you from those who you know for so many years, even strangers. You started to see the weird things. You too started to see faces change and know, whoa, what the hell? They all got exposed around you. You saw the truth. That's why you isolated. That's why you were alone. Take it as a blessing. But you are alone. And the world's eyes and other people's eyes, they might look at you, you know what I'm saying? The people who still programmed and you know how they haven't gone through that journey. They look at you like, he or she, they alone. What's wrong with them? No, in reality, it's like, nah, nigga. When you unplug, when you wake up, when you begin to see what you see from your friend group, your family, and when you begin to see stuff that's unexplainable, when you begin to see, you're going to understand why these niggas is alone. And why they went through what they went through. Why people's testimonies is the way it is. Testimonies. Testimonies. Because it's real. That's why you isolated. You isolated because people fear you because you see through these niggas. You heard the bang on cue? Oh, and that noise? Even those who try to send people your way, they avoid you. You ain't perfect, but you still see through them. Niggas could walk beside you, cut through. You see those niggas. They could drive on cue, but they color coding and how they moving out here and doing what they... You spot them. That's why they avoid you. Because you see. You don't got to be perfect, but you still see. You still see through niggas. I don't got to know you or I can know you, but I see the snake in you from a mile away. I feel it. I see it. Your tactics don't change. That's why you isolated. They avoid you. And that's why the smear campaign starts. The character assassination starts. This is why they got to make you look a certain way because you now have unplug and you see what you see. People who see what they see through the illusion, they got to label and make them look crazy. Did you catch that? They have to make them look and label them as crazy. But they're not. They're not. Now it starts to make sense. And I want you to think about this. Think about that family member in your family, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, kings and queens. Think about that family member and family members that you see in your family. That the people who you was always around said that that person disappeared, went ghost, and went separated. And does not be a part of that side. See on cue? Pay attention. I want you to pay attention to that when they tell you why this other individual went ghost. Them and their specific family, or why they separated. You hear the engine? Think about it. But when you go through your spiritual awakening, your journey, and as you start maturing and going through what you're going through, you begin to start looking at that person or that family, and you begin to understand and be like, it makes sense on why that specific family member or family members decided to depart and keep away from the people who you was around. It's because it was all toxic. They saw what you didn't see. It starts to make sense with certain people in your family that went ghost. And then the people in your family you was always around, they try to make that person look a certain way. But they went ghost for a reason. But when you get older, you start to know why. It makes sense. You be like, oh, I understand. I get it now why that person did what they did. Why? Unplugged. Spiritual discernment. The witches, the warlocks, the narcissists, the toxic people. Everyone got exposed around you when you unplugged. You. Just like them too, but you have to experience it for yourself to see who is who. And I promise you, just like as those sirens is going right on cue, I promise you, when you unplug from this matrix, when you wake up, when the Most High removes the veil from your eyes, everything is going to be exposed around you. Everything and everyone. Yeah. And that's including family. Your grandma, your grandpa, your great-grandma, your great-grandpa, your mommy, your daddy, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, your aunts, your day ones, co-workers, barber, where you get your hair at. Everyone who you was programmed to, from who you grew up around, they're all going to get exposed around you. Who's true, who isn't. They're spirit. Spiritual. Stop looking at through the flesh. You seeing through niggas' spirits. They see that you see. And you're going to see people's faces change too. That's why you get isolated and people avoid you, because you see who they are. That's why they avoid you. Because you see through people. I don't care if you know them or don't know them. You're going to see through them. Even when people are in groups together in their own clique, you see through that clique too. Who's fake and who's ruining their clique. Couples, relationships, you see through them too. You see through everything. You see through the illusion. You ain't perfect. You fall back. But that's why you isolate and people avoid you. Avoid. It's not that you're alone because nobody want to be around you or based off the lies with the narcissist, but people avoid you because they be like, nah. No, niggas avoid you and people don't want to be around you because you can see through their BS. You see through the illusion. They know what you post. They know what you talk about. You can see them from a mile away. Even if you play a fool and be like, yeah, we could kick it, we can hang out. Because you ain't perfect. But it's like, yo, if I want to do something with you, I'm going to do something with you. But I see. But them niggas know it too. That's why they avoid you. You see. So take isolation as a blessing. Being alone is a blessing, and being alone is a power that many people can't do. Enjoy it. Enjoy that alone time. The right ones is going to be for you. The right ones. But I promise you, this is the reason why people avoid you. This is the reason why you got isolated. This is the reason why everybody want to start talking how they talking about you and all that. Those niggas got exposed. You see through them, even the religious people too. You see through them all. That's why they avoid you. That's why they got to lie on you. That's why they got to start the smear campaign and try to create lies on you and try to form groups on you because you can see through those people. And especially the one who started it. They know that you can see through them. Oh, but best believe there's people who see through their lies and their BS and see what you're posting. They know. But those people been so deep in that they're so ashamed to try to confront you personally and be like, yo, I know what you did. So what they do, they hide with the fake profiles and watch you in the sneak. I don't want to be around that. Be real. If you with me, you with me. If you for me, you for me. And even if you got to come to me and apologize and be like, yo, I heard this, and that, but damn, nigga. Be real. Don't be fake. Don't be fake. But a lot of people, that's what they do. They be fake out here. A lot of people don't know how to be alone. They jump from one friendship to the next, one relationship to the next. People haven't even healed, but they jump from one to the next. That's what happens. Look at it as a power. But that's the reason why you're isolated, y'all. That's why you're isolated and looking like y'all alone. But it's because people fear you because you can see through the BS. You see through the illusion of the Matrix. Not only through the illusion of the Matrix, but you see through people. From those you know and don't know. That's why they avoid you, because you see through them. What they hide from people, you see. You don't got to call them out. You don't got to say who is who. They know that you know. You know that who they are. They know. You know. That's why they avoid you. But remember, the ones who started this smear campaign about you, the ones who started the gossip, the lies, that's the narcissists. They feed off people's energy vampires. But they know that you know about who they really are. When you know that you can see through people, they be terrified of you. They don't want to be around you. Take it as a blessing. It's alone time. Because it's more spiritual than physical. Stop looking at things from the flesh. I know we ain't perfect. But stop it. Once you see through niggas' spirits, it's a wrap. Even if you're going down a certain path or you're doing what you're doing, that discernment doesn't leave you. You still see and read through niggas. That's why they still avoid you. You can see through the fake smile, the fake smirk, the fake compliment. People who be around. You see their tactics because it never changes. You see it. Even those who mirror you, copy you. That's why they mirror you, copy you, because they see you. They know. The haters. That's why they do what they do. You have to look like the bad guy. Or the bad girl. Because you see. You see. You got the glasses. You see through them. That's what they fear. And that's what they avoid. Everybody who did what they did around you, spells, whatever the hell it is, or they avoid you. I just need you to hear this one more time. When you go through your spiritual awakening, when you unplug, and the Most High removes the veil from your eyes, everyone around you is going to get exposed. Starting with your family, starting with your bloodline, starting from the religious people in your family too. Even the religious people you see in church too. They all get exposed. All the witches and warlocks in your family, the bloodline, and then those in your friend groups and all that, even in their family circle, it all starts to get exposed. You start seeing for what it really, really is. You start seeing. And their spirits, whatever in them in that dark, they're going to know. You heard that on cue? They're going to know that you unplug because their spirits in them can see. They're going to know that you see through them. And that's where they got to start forming things or try to start doing these spells. That's where they got to act quick to form groups and all this. Because now it's like, oh, damn, I got exposed. Y'all the black sheep of your family. You're the black sheep. You're chosen. Take it as a blessing. All of y'all out there who's going through this journey that you look alone, enjoy it, embrace it. Even niggas who try to talk to you, talk to them and all that, but keep it moving. But don't let the world or don't let people see when they be seeing this person or he or she, they're always alone. They alone. Why nobody want to be around them? What's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? That's how they view. The ones who still plugged in the corner, you know how people is. They're going to view you that way. Why they alone? Something's wrong with them? Nah, it ain't even got nothing to do with how you thinking. It's the opposite of what you thinking. It's that niggas is avoiding you. King, queen, bro, sis. They're avoiding you. Because they know that you see through the illusion. You're spiritual. You're discernment. You call it out. You see them off the rip from you know and don't know. You can see how they code on how they get uncomfortable, body language, color coordination, how they move symbolic. That's why they get uncomfortable around you. That's why you alone. You see, they see too. That's why. Until the next video, my brother and sister, kings and queens, man. Y'all know what's up already. Unplug. Stay in prayer. Stay with the Most High. Hedge of protection. Till the next one.